the first chapter of class 12th, relation functions. Okay, this chapter you have studied in class 11th. Okay, that time you might have found it a little boring, but actually this particular chapter has a lot value when it comes to higher mathematics. In last year when you were studying, last year you had just learnt exactly what relations is. You didn't actually go on to the depth of what relation, what type of relation, what exactly is a relation. So what we will do is we will first of all start from the very beginning, uska starting ka stage. Beta, when you were studying, the first topic which came was sets. What is a set? A set is a collection of well-defined objects. बहुत अच्छा जो define किया गया है. Suppose a set A has only 2 elements. Set B has only 3 elements. So a well-defined collection of sets. Next, what comes after sets is when you have two sets together, then you can take a Cartesian product of sets. Now, what do you mean by Cartesian product? Cartesian product means the rishta between the elements of all the possible connections that can be formed between two sets. Suppose a set A has A, B, set B has 1, 2, 3. There can be one rishta as A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. This is the maximum number of connections that can be made possible between two sets. The total possible connections that you can make, that is called as the Cartesian product. Right? What comes next after Cartesian product is a relation. When we say a relation, we actually take relation as a subset of Cartesian product. What is a relation? A relation is a subset. Cartesian product में पूरे elements आ सकते हैं, तो relation में उसके कुछ elements को बस चुन के we make a set. For example, I'll give you a relation. Say it contains those ordered pairs बोलते जोड़ियां बनाना, in which the first element has to be a vowel. तो vowel एक ही है, तो A1, A2, A3 ये एक रिलेशन बना दिया. मेरे को एक और रिलेशन बनाने की इच्छा हो रही है जिसमें XY, Y has to be say an even number. So what all elements can there be possible? There can be A2, second number has to be an even number, B2, that is all. And isn't this now the subset of A cross B? Understood? This is what actually a relation is. What comes after this, we have in our 12th syllabus is the types of relation that exist. The first type of relation is called as a reflexive relation. Reflexive relation means self-related. खुद अपने आप से relate करना. A relation R is said to be reflexive if every element is related to itself. अपने खुद से relate करना. I'll give you an example. Suppose you have a whiteboard here. On this whiteboard, I am drawing number of lines. So, I want to check whether the relation which is defined as Lx, Ly, Lx is parallel to Ly. Parallel का condition लेते हैं. तो बेटा हर लाइन अपने खुद से पैरेलल तो हो सकता है ना. एक लाइन L1 है, इसके ऊपर ही एक और लाइन if I make, है ना, the coincident line, Won't every line be parallel to itself? If every line is parallel to itself, L1, L1 is there, L2, L2 is there, whereas L1, L1 is there. This relation will have R1, I didn't write here, so I'll write here. See, it's here. L1, L1 is here, L2, L2 is here, L6, L6 is here, L4, L4, L5. All the lines are parallel to itself. वो अपने खुद से पैरेलल हो रहा है, तो फिर we call those types of relation as reflexive relation. I'll give you one more example. Say Lx, Ly, Lx is perpendicular to Ly. एक लाइन खुद से perpendicular तो नहीं होगा. A line cannot be perpendicular to itself. So it is not self-related. So I'll call this as not reflexive relation. है ना? So what is reflexive relation? Reflexive relation means self-related. The next type of relation which comes is called as the symmetric relation. What do you mean by symmetric relation? Symmetric relation मतलब मैं अगर तुमसे जुड़ा हूं तो तुम भी मेरे से इक्वली जुड़े हो. Equally, है ना? A relation is said to be symmetric if and only if x is related to y, then y should also be related to x. Take an example. Relation R1 parallel line. पिछला example है. If L1 is parallel to L2, won't L2 also be parallel to L1? उल्टा relation. है ना? So if L1 is parallel to L2, L2 is also parallel to L1. So that's why I'll say this relation is reflexive also. We proved earlier. This is a symmetric relation also. है ना? Reflexive भी हो गया, symmetric भी हो गया. Like this example, I'll give you one more example. Suppose all the people here, XY जोड़ी जिसमें X is son of Y. If X is son of Y, will Y be son of X? No, Y would be the father of X. है ना? तो this is not a reflexive relation. है ना? This is not a reflexive. Neither it is a symmetric relation. It is reflexive तो है ही नहीं, self-related है नहीं, so it is not reflexive. एक अपना खुद का ही son कैसे हो सकता है? So it is not reflexive. And neither it is symmetric also. If X is son of B, A is son of B, B won't be son of A, so it is not symmetric either. A very good example, XY, such that X is brother of Y. If X is brother of Y, is it reflexive? No. How can one be the brother of himself itself? Self-related है नहीं, so it is not reflexive. Symmetric? अरे, X is brother of Y, Y is brother of X. It depends. How does it depend? If X and Y both are male, then it is symmetric. But if X is male, Y is female, X is brother of Y, very naturally Y would be the sister of X. So in this case, I'll say it is not symmetric. है ना? X related to Y, equal relation should be there for Y related to X, then we call it as symmetric relation. Understood? What comes next is the third and the last type of relation, which is called as a transitive relation. Transitive relation, a relation R is said to be transitive if X is related to Y, Y is related to X, then X must be related to Z also. Then X must be related to Z. We call that as a transitive relation. I take the parallel lines ka case. Suppose we have X and Y are parallel to each other. And suppose we also have that Y and Z are also parallel to each other. Very naturally, X and Z will also be parallel. If X and Z are also parallel, I'll say this particular relation is reflexive also, symmetric also, transitive also. Understood? But if I take the case of perpendicularity, X is perpendicular to Y, so Y will also be perpendicular to X. So it is symmetric. But one line cannot be perpendicular to itself, not reflexive. But transitive, X is perpendicular to Y, Y is perpendicular to Z, X in 2 dimension would be parallel to Z. X is, I'm talking about 2 dimension now. X is perpendicular to Y, okay. Y is perpendicular to Z, okay. What will you say about X and Z? Are they perpendicular to each other? They are not perpendicular. In 2 dimension, they would be parallel to each other. So that's why I'll say they are not transitive. Understood? A relation, write down. A relation which is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive is called an equivalence relation. A relation which is reflexive also, symmetric also, transitive also, all 3, then we call such type of relation as a equivalence relation. ठीक है? ठीक है? Now listen here. The first question. I'll explain what the question says. There is a set A. Here is that set A. It has 3 elements in it. There is another set A itself. It has again 3 elements. The relation that they have defined is it has AA, it has AB, it has AA, it has AB, it has AC, it has BB, it has BC, CA, CB, CC. Actually, in all, there should be 3 into 3. There should be 9 maximum elements possible. They have given you 1, 2, 3, 4 and 4, 8 elements are there in this relation. The question, yeah, there's no problem. Now, the question is, the first and foremost, is this reflexive? Now, अभी चुपचाप बैठना, बस सुनना, कोई कुछ बात नहीं करना. What does reflexive mean? Reflexive means self relation. बेटा self relation में हर relation होना चाहिए. there should be AA, there should be BB, there should be CC. If AA, BB is there, CC is not there, not related बोलना. पूरा होना चाहिए, एक भी छूटना नहीं चाहिए. एक भी छूटेगा, if any one is left, then it is not reflexive. Come back to the definition, and the definition is not immediately afterwards. In the definition, did you write? I think I also forgot. सारे लिखा था क्या मैंने? हाँ, ये एक गलती हो गई मेरे से. हाँ, मेरे से एक बहुत बड़ी गलती हो गई और मुझे माफ करना. मेरे से गलती नहीं हुई, मेरे से गलती नहीं हुई. यहाँ पे देख, ये क्या लिखा है? For all. It has a very very good importance. For all. एक भी छूटना नहीं चाहिए, है ना? For all. That's what I am telling you. Everything should be related. Then I call it as a reflexive relation. ठीक है?
इसके ऊपर एक बड़ा सा एवरी भी लिखा है.
हाँ, for all लिखा है ना वहाँ पे? See.
इसके ऊपर आपने एवरी भी लिखा था, थोड़ा वो भी लिख लेते.
हाँ, for every भी लिखा था, for all बोल भी रहा हूँ, whatever it is. बच्चा, AA है क्या? BB है क्या? CC है क्या? है ना? Since लिखते कैसे? How do you write it? You write it as since AXX belongs to this relation for all X that belongs to A, for all X जो A के अंदर है. What is this A set here? A set is ABC. मैंने जनरलाइज किया. Yesterday I told you, बेटा जो चीज को सही करना है उसको जनरलाइज करना पड़ता है. जो चीज को गलत करना है, the thing that you want to make it wrong, give an example. You are not a good child. अगर prove करना है तो give an example. Okay, I found this particular child not doing a good thing, so bad हो गया. लेकिन if you want to be a good child, you should be good in anything and everything. तो इसीलिए मैंने as a symbol use किया. X, X belongs to R. What is this X? This X is anything that I take from here for all X that belongs to the set. See the language, ये maths का language है. Therefore, R1 is reflexive. Now tell me, any problem? Your time to speak. Please don't write. Don't make yourself busy writing. लिखने का मैं टाइम दूंगा. अभी बात करो. किसी को कोई कंफ्यूजन? नहीं, XX. रिफ्लेक्सिव मतलब XX. रिफ्लेक्सिव मतलब XX. सिमेट्रिक आएगा XY. रिफ्लेक्सिव में कोई डाउट? चलो, लेट्स गो अहेड. सिमेट्रिक. Now, what do you mean by symmetric relation? अगर मैं तुमसे जुड़ा हूं तो तुम मेरे से इक्वली जुड़ना, कम्यूटेटिव जैसा. इक्वली जुड़ना चाहिए, है ना? नाउ अच्छा, एक ने भी गड़बड़ किया. एक ने भी गड़बड़ किया, it is not symmetric. Now see, is AA here? Is ulta of AA also here? हाँ ना, वो खुद ही है ना. चलो, if AB is here, is BA anywhere here? और ये चोर को पकड़ लिया. Catch hold of that one thief. Catch hold of that one example and your work is done. Then you don't see anything else. Sir, AC is there, CA is there, चलेगा ना सर? नहीं चलेगा बेटा. You give one example and the work is done. तेरे को एक example बता दे तुम अच्छे नहीं हो, तो फिर तेरा 50 अच्छा ही होगा. We are not worried. That one example is enough to prove that you are not good. So I'll say, how do I write it? AB belongs to R1, but BA is not belonging to R1. Therefore, R1 is not symmetric. समझ में आया? Let's go ahead. Now the problem starts. एक भी छूटना नहीं चाहिए. You should be very very careful. A, what does transitive mean? A ने B से, B ने C से. That connection should be there. A related to B, B must be related to C. चलो, A is related to A. Is there anyone starting with A? Yes, here. A is related to B. Is A, B there in it? ये खुद ही है ना. चलो और आगे बढ़ो. A is related to A. A is related to C. Is AC there in it? ये खुद ही है ना. एक एक को ढूंढना, एक भी चोर नहीं आना चाहिए. Then there is no other starting with A. चलो, let's go on to the next one. A, B. What is starting with B? B, B. Is A, B there? ये है ना. चलो और आगे देखो. A, B, B, C. Is AC there?
Yes.
Where is it? ये. और आगे बढ़ो. Anything else starting with B? No. Tested. AC is there. CA is there. Is AA there? Yes, it is there. ठीक है. Anything starting AC is there. CB is there. Is AB there?
Yes.
Yes. Tested. Okay. AC is there. CC is there. Is AC there? Yes.
Yes.
Tested. This is also tested. AB, BC, BC is there. AB, BC. Is BC there? Okay. Tested.
Yes.
Anything starting with B? No. चलो, go ahead. BC, CA. Is BA there? चोर को पकड़ लिया. एक एक करके ढूंढना. एक भी चूक गया, the work is gone. So you have caught the thief. So you have found so many transitive, but one example was enough. So the problem with this particular chapter is search for that one example. That is the only problem. है ना. You don't have to use too much of brain. ज्यादा दिमाग नहीं चाहिए लगाना. जितना है बस उतना ही लगाना. अपने पास इतना सा, अपन उतना सा अच्छे से लगाएंगे. ठीक है ना. तो you have, now what was the thing that I got? I forgot. कहाँ से था? CA नहीं, BC,
BC and CA.
हाँ. Now I'll write down that example. BC belongs to R1, CA belongs to R1, but what do you say? BA does not belong to R1. So what does that imply? R1 is
Not transitive.
बस खत्म. How to write? ऐसे लिखना. समझ में आया? Anything to ask? चलो, write down. Here is. Check whether this relation R. I'm talking about the first question. The second question has the relation named as S. तो रिलेशन को सिर्फ R से खाली नहीं डिनोट करता है, रिलेशन को S से भी डिनोट करता है. रिलेशन को कैसे भी डिनोट, इट कैन बी डिनोटेड इन एनी वे. A is related to B. What is the condition of the relation? Like in the previous, they just give you some elements. And now this condition, this IFF is called as if and only if. And this IFF means if and only if B is divisible by A. What are A and B? A and B are simply natural numbers. Like in the previous question, Where are we working on? We are working on the set A. Here in this question, where are we working on? What is the field on which we are working on? We are now working on the set of 1, 2, 3, so on to all the natural numbers. I want you to give me one example of A related to B. 3,6. Is this correct? Why is it correct? Please speak out. 6 is divisible by 3. What do you mean by divisible? It means that 6, if I divide by 3, you will get a natural number, that is 2. That's what divisibility means. Can I say 3 6 के जगह 6 3?
No, sir.
Why not? 3 upon 6 is not a natural number. It's 1 by 2. So 3 is divisible by 6. But 6 is not divisible by 3. Sorry, I'm sorry, I said it ulta. And 6 is divisible by 3. But 3 is not divisible by 6. Tell me. Now let's come back. Reflexive. Yes.
It is reflexive.
Why is it so?
3 is divisible.
1 1 है, 2 2 है, 3 100 100 है, 1000 है. Every element is divisible to itself. Reflexive means self-related. Every number is divisible to itself always. How will we write down? We will write down A belongs to this R since A is divisible by A itself. Therefore, R is reflexive. अगला वाला क्वेश्चन में R जहां पे लिखा ना वहां पे S लिखना, क्योंकि रिलेशन S से वो नाम दे रहा है. बोलो, है ना? वेरी गुड. सॉरी फॉर ऑल A belongs to the set of natural numbers. अरे बहुत जरूरी है. थैंक यू. ये लिखना बहुत जरूरी है, because for all living none, 1 or 2 नहीं, every. And this symbol is very, very important here. Chalo, let's come to symmetric. Is it symmetric? Why not? Yes, Shazi. You want to speak up? Bolo. Not able to hear.
For all conditions, there would be reflexive.
For all, it is reflexive, na?
Only for reflexive this condition.
Yeah, we are talking about only reflexive now. Next comes symmetric. We are coming to symmetric. Is it symmetric? अरे ये एग्जाम्पल ही काफी है. मैं काई के लिए पूरा लंबा चौड़ा लिखूं? I'll just give an example. भाई 3 6 belongs to R. Why? Because why? 6 is divisible by 3. But है ना, ये लिखने का लैंग्वेज देखो. 6 3 does not belong to R. Why? Since 3 is not divisible by 6, therefore R is not symmetric. नहीं, इसमें मत लिखो. फॉर ऑल मत लिखो ना. रिफ्लेक्सिव में फॉर ऑल होता है, ट्रांजिटिव हो तो ट्रांजिटिव में भी फॉर ऑल होना चाहिए. सिमेट्रिक में एग्जाम्पल लो, एक चीज लिया तो उसका उल्टा मिलना चाहिए बस, तो उसमें फॉर ऑल नहीं आएगा. Is this transitive? Do you want to say anything till now? Is this transitive? Let's work with an example. You said 3 6s there? Can I say 6 12 there? Because 12 is divisible by 6. Will 3 12 also be there?
Yes.
ठीक है. Will it be transitive always? Yes.
I don't think so, sir.
It will be.
3 6 and 3 9.
3 6. Continue with 6 now. X Y Y Z.
Okay. Then it is transitive.
It is transitive, but how to write down now? The problem is how to present the answer. How to present the answer? This is the way to present the answer. See, let me just give you a first example. Let me just tell you. AB belongs to, I'll say, it is transitive, so I'll write down let. And then let, we are giving an example. We are not citing one particular example, we are actually generalizing it. AB belongs to R, BC belongs to R. Now, beta AB belongs to R, अगर मैंने मान के चला, तो B is some lambda or some x times of A. Beta 6 is 2 times of 3 ना? कुछ तो एक lambda होगा. Next, BC, so I'll say C would be कुछ तो times of B होना ही चाहिए. सही है ना? I'll do one thing. I want to combine. What is my destination? My destination is AC belongs to R. That means C should be something times of A. So from here I start C. देखो मैं उल्टा काम कर रहा हूं अभी. मैं उल्टा काम कर रहा हूं, है ना? C is Y times of B. But what is B equal to? X times of A. Which means C is what? Which means C is what? C is XY times of A. Which means A is in C, AC is in there. Mathematically prove कर रहे हैं अपन. कोई मजाक नहीं कर रहा है. Mathematically बिल्कुल prove कर रहे हैं. A, B, because B is x times of A, where x is any natural number. B, C, because I'll write down also, they are any natural numbers. Y times. So I wanted C times of this. So मैंने उल्टा किया. C is something times of A, that means C is Y times of B, but B is XA, so Y times of XA. So XA times of B. So AC is in R, therefore R is transitive, therefore R, equivalence नहीं बोल पा रहे. चलो, do you want to say anything now?
नहीं सर.
This relation is given by AB is in R1, 1 plus AB has to be greater than 0, then AB will be in R1. Tell me, why am I saying that 1 2 is there in this set? As it is satisfied. What is the condition? 1 plus 1 into 2 कितना होता है? Is it a number greater than 0? अच्छा, tell me, minus 2 1 is not there in the set. Why is it not there in the set? 1 plus of minus 2 into 1 is minus 2. Is it greater than 0? No, it is not greater than 0. So it is not there. Understood? So you know what is there and what is not there. Is root 2 minus root 5 there in the set? Come on. 1 plus of, what's the product of these two? Root 10. What's the value of root 10? Something 3 point, because 3 is a 9. Root 10 would be some 3 point. 1 minus 3 point, will it be a positive number? No, it is not a positive number. Therefore, this is also not there. So you have come to know what is there and what is not there. Now let's come back. Is it reflexive? बात कर.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure? क्यों?
Yes, sir. Greater than 0 to क्योंकि सर मल्टीप्लिकेशन करे तो फिर 0.
और अच्छे से बताओ.
सर अगर एक होगा ये लेंगे तो फिर तो ए बी की जगह ए स्क्वायर हो सकता है.
हाँ. Square of a number is always positive.
Positive.
What does reflexive mean? A. It is always going to be there in R1. Why am I so sure of it? Because 1 plus A into A means 1 plus A square. Any real number, I'm not talking about imaginary number, I'm talking about real number. Any real number, square of is always a positive. Acha, add a 1 to it, it will become greater than 0 for sure. Since this number is always greater than 0, so R1 is reflexive. सही है. Let's come to transitive. लिखना बंद, यहाँ पे ध्यान से सुनते रहो, मजा आएगा. Symmetric and transitive, they always start with let. If, because we are assuming some numbers in it. I assume let. ठीक है? Let A be in this R1. Now, since it is there in R1, pakka it is there, because we have taken a number from R1 itself. Like for example, I have taken 1, 2. I am taking 1, 2. I am taking a number which is already there in R1. So this will imply 1 plus AB will always be greater than 0. If 1 plus AB is greater than 0, for sure 1 plus BA will also be greater than 0. No doubt at all. Because A into B and B into A are always same. So this will imply BA will also be there in R1. No doubt at all. This implies R1 is pakka symmetric. Are you okay with this much? ठीक है? Are you done? But what will you say about transitive? मैंने बोला ना, ये चैप्टर का जादू किसमें है? ये चैप्टर का जादू उसमें है कि तू एग्जाम्पल ढूंढ. अभी मैं एक एग्जाम्पल ढूंढूंगा, ठीक है? मैं एक एग्जाम्पल ढूंढूंगा और तुम एक और एग्जाम्पल तुम ढूंढ के बताना. ठीक है? आई एम साइटिंग. अच्छा, याद रख, रिमेंबर, आई गिव यू अराउंड 5 to 10 क्वेश्चंस एंड यू रिमेंबर बेटा, दीज आर नॉट ट्रांजिटिव. तेरे को याद करना ही पड़ेगा. सी 1/2, is it in R1? Why do you say so? Speak up. Because 1 plus 1 into 1/2 is a pakka number greater than 0. Pakka. ठीक है? 1/2 comma -1. Is this also there in R1?
Yes.
क्यों? कैसे? बात करो मेरे को तुम्हारा आवाज सुनना है। 1 plus half into -1 is 1 minus half. That is equal to half. That is a पक्का 0 से बड़ा. But what will you say about 1 and -1?
0 हो जाएगा. नहीं.
Does not belong to R1. Why?
0 हो जाएगा.
Because हाँ बोलो बोलते जाओ, तुम बोलते जाओ, मैं लिख रहा हूँ. -1, which is 1 minus 1 is 0. Is it greater than 0? No yaar, it is equal to. It is 0 is not greater than 0. 0 is equal to 0. So R1 is not transitive. मेरे प्यारे बच्चों, याद रखना, ट्रांजिटिव ये नहीं है. ये 1 plus AB एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एक क्वेश्चन है, और ये याद करके रख कि ये ट्रांजिटिव नहीं है. I want as a homework, give more examples. Find more examples and send me. We will discuss tomorrow. ठीक है?